Hey everybody, this is Matt and we're at Texas Toast Guitars. Thanks for watching. So I'm trying to remember how many frets I bashed into fretboards with a hammer. And I don't remember how many I did. And I'm not suggesting that you can't do it, but what I am suggesting is that in order to get consistent results, using an Arbor Press is definitely the way to go. It takes someone a lot of time to get good with a hammer and tap frets in consistently. It takes considerably less time for someone to learn how to apply even pressure with an Arbor Press. Okay, so I bought this Arbor Press in like 2010. Up until that point, I used somebody else's Arbor Presses, but I wanted to get my own, and this one was one that I bought at Harbor Freight, and I had modified to accept a fret call, and I like the new StewMac ones. You know, you can go to StewMac, and the StewMac one's a good deal, okay, but it's a little smaller than this. So I think the StewMac one works really well for Fender style necks, but given the way that I make necks, having this distance be taller than the StewMac one is necessary for me. You can get a great big one too if you want, but they don't sell these at Harbor Freight anymore, at least not at the ones near me, but you can get something like it from Amazon, okay? And so I have in this box here, I have one from Amazon, and I'm going to show you what you need to do to modify this. I don't even know what this piece is called. This little pressy piece here, how to modify that to accept a StewMac fret press call, or in this case, the even cooler Fractal fret press call. And I'm going to leave links to all that stuff in the description below, but let me show you what I'm talking about here. When I'm talking about the Amazon thing that we're going to start with, okay? So the box has a bunch of stuff. This is the handle. Let's move this out of the way. And let's get down to whoop. All right, here's what we want. Here's the stuff we want. Okay. Now, I am not suggesting that you shouldn't keep this, whatever this piece is, but we aren't going to use it today. Okay? I think I lost the one that went with this because I've moved several times since I've had this vise. Here it is. This is the part come on, man. Now I gotta get it out of the damn. Here's the piece we want. I think this is just a spacer. Okay. Here's the piece that we want, and it is positively covered with oil. Okay, but here's the thing. We want to drill a hole. After we get the oil off, we want to drill a hole. We're going to use more oil to get this right. We want to drill a hole to accept the fret press call. That hole is 3/8 of an inch. We also want to tap a hole to affix a little stopper so that it holds the fret press call in place. Okay, so let's see if we had this like this. Let's do it like the one I got here. So that means that we want the screw in set, the set screw, setting screw in set screw. Want it to go on this side. So that means right here we need to drill a 3/8 hole. Okay. So I'm going to, and you know what? The closer you are to the center, that looks drunk. The closer you are to the center, the better. So we're gonna do this the right way, and we're gonna draw a line and put a mark on that. If you have a mill, this job will be easy. Heck, if you have a lathe with vice jaws that do a square, this would be super easy. You put a drill in there and spin this bad dude and shove it onto a drill, and it'd be perfect. I don't have a mill, I don't have a lathe, but I do have a drill press, and I am going to show you how to do this. You can do this yourself, or you can find somebody who has a mill and will charge you whatever they charge you, and you won't have a big mess in your shop. So it's worth that too. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to mark and drill a pilot hole, a small pilot hole. Then we're going to switch over and we're going to drill a 3/8 hole, down fairly far until our fret press call goes in there. So let's stop talking about stuff and let's start doing stuff. All right, one of the first things that you got to do is slow down your drill press. If your drill press is set for wood, it might be too fast. And if your drill press is set for metal and you're using it for wood, it's probably too slow. You want to slow your drill press down a little bit. That's pretty slow for a drill press. So we can drill into metal with that. Now, there's going to be guys who say, Matt, you're not a machinist. You don't know what you're talking about, blah, blah, blah. You're right, but I'm only drilling one hole. Actually, I'm drilling a couple, 3 holes. So I've got the little piece here in a small vise. I've got my center marked, and there you can see. And again, I did the best I could with the tools that I have. It's not the end of the world if it's not perfectly in the center, but you want it to be close because you're into having, you want to have something nice, right? I'm going to get a drop of oil or two and lube up the bit, and we're going to drill just a small little pilot hole. You might not have to do this, but I always have better luck hitting a hole with a 3/8 drill bit that is already a little tiny hole than just going for it in a great big trying to drill a 3/8 hole right off the bat. Okay, so let me get a dab of oil or two, and we'll drill this guy out. All right. So let's just put a dab of oil on the piece to be cut, and we'll go slow. And we're just going to drill like a little pilot hole. A little starter hole. All right, that's actually probably enough. Because all we really want to do is give our 3/8 drill bit something to fit into. Okay, after digging for a little while, I found my 3/8 drill bit, and I'm just going to basically make this hole go a little deeper so that it will accommodate my my fret press call, okay, which has a 3/8 inch shaft right here. And so it's got to be at least that deep. All right. I'm going to lower my press a little bit. Okay. I'm going to use oil again. And again, we're not going to win any beauty pageants. I mean, I might, but I'm not going to win any machinist beauty pageants here. And again, it's not going to be the end of the world if this isn't exactly perfectly in the center, but try to get it close, right? Okay. All right. So we're going to put some oil in here, and we're just going to drill this out with a 3/8 drill bit. And we're going to go slow. All right, that's looking pretty good. It's taken a while, but we're just drilling a hole in metal. Stuff's getting hot. But we're doing the best we can with what we got, okay? Got a little more to go. I'm going to introduce the inside of this hole to compressed air, and we're gonna see if we're deep enough. This is nice and warm now. Woo-hoo-hoo. So yeah, that's fun. Okay. All right, I think we're still recording. So I got a little bit more to go here, maybe like an eighth, but this is gonna bottom out. So if I go a little too deep, I think that'll be okay. But I wanna put a little more oil on there and finish drilling that hole, and it should be good. What side glove was this on? Okay, I think that looks good. I'm going to chamfer the top of this with a chamfering bit, and that should help my piece slide in nice, and that's what we want. I hope there's not a bunch of chips and junk and crap in here, because when there isn't, okay, yeah, that looks good. All right, now I'm going to go and blow this out, and then I'm going to chamfer the top. Hey everybody, this is Matt from Texas Toast Guitars. I just want to take an opportunity to tell you and remind you that all of our videos are ad-free, except for the ads for Texas Toast Guitars. That's really kind of why we're here. But we don't have any corporate overlords, and that keeps all of our videos from having to, our videos are long, and I don't want you guys to get bored with a bunch of jive ads from a bunch of jive companies that you may or may not want to deal with. So all of our videos are ad-free. Let's keep it that way. If you want to help us keep it that way, please consider joining us on Patreon, join us on YouTube, or just send us a super chat. Thanks for watching, everybody. On with the show. Okay, guys, it's actually the next day. You might be able to tell I have a different shirt on. My beard's longer. It's whiter. It's whatever. I have a different level of animation. But I ran out of my camera took a dump. So let's finish up this project. As you'll recall, and I'm really saying this more for my benefit than yours, because you were just watching it. We got the hole drilled in our ram here, and it fits the fret press call. And now what we need to do is drill for a set screw. And we need to thread for a set screw. This is all, again, a drill press and a hand tool. I'm going to be using a 1032 thread because I have one for making truss rods. You can use, it doesn't really matter what you use, whatever you want, but 1032 works pretty well. Heck, I don't care. You could use 1/4-20 for all I care. But so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to mark for our set screw, and we're going to drill for our set screw, and we're going to tap for our set screw, and then we're going to put it all together, and we're going to put this fret press together and get it in use for one of our workshops. And for me, actually, I might use this fret press for me, and we'll let you guys use the new hotness, okay, for workshops. All right. So the first thing we got to do is find a 1032 tap and drill the correct size hole, and then tap it and put the set screw in, etc., etc. So in my hot little hand here, I have my tapping wrench. I have 1032, and I want to make sure I use the right hand thread because I have some 1032 left hand thread for some other stuff here. So, okay. So we're going to be drilling a hole and tapping with this guy here. And I'm going to, if I did this a lot, I bet you I could, I bet you that I could tell you exactly what the, how's a lefty? I bet you I could tell you exactly what the right size starter hole to use is. But I'm going to look that up on the Google machine, and I'm going to mark the hole and drill the hole. What we want to make sure we do is we get the hole so that it corresponds to this groove right here, so that it fits in there and locks the call in place. So we're going to look up what that is. We're going to drill the right size hole, and then we're going to start tapping it. Okay. Okay, I've got the drill in my drill press. I got my hole location marked, and I'm just going to drill basically from the outside into the hole here, and then we're going to tap it and clean everything up. This set screw is not holding panels onto the space shuttle. It's just keeping the clamping call from falling out, okay? So if you want to go with a slightly bigger hole to make tapping a little easier, I think that's a great idea. In fact, I had a machinist tell me one time that depending on what the set screw was for, that was perfectly acceptable. And sometimes it was what he did anyway. So again, there are going to be machinists who say you need to use this size drill and this size tap, and they're defer to them because they know. However, I'm just given that what this is doing is really just keeping the clamping call from falling out. You know, having 100% thread engagement is not. Well, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? I hope. All right, let's put a dab of oil on there and let's drill this hole. Okay. Now the fun part. Okay, gang, we got our hole drilled. Now I'm going to switch my drill bit out for my 1032 tap. Now what I'm doing with the 1032 tap in the drill press is not turning the drill press on and attempting to cut it all at once, okay? What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to lower the tap using the press handle into the piece, and I'm going to turn the chuck by hand to get it started, okay? And the idea is that this will keep it straight. Okay, and I'm going to evacuate my chips regularly, and I really just want to get this thing going. You know, if I hadn't geared down my drill press, this wouldn't be nearly as difficult. I should probably take the belts off so it spins freely. Okay. Okay, gang, so we are finally ready to put this dude together and start pressing in frets. But you know it's me, so there's going to be more talking. All right, so I've got my 3/8 hole, and now my fret press call fits inside my my Arbor Press ram. I've got a hole drilled and tapped with a 1032 for my set screw to keep this from falling out. Remember, it's not to keep the space shuttle to stay together. I didn't show it on the camera, but I did make this hole bigger because I was noticing that my tap was really laboring. Some of you guys who work with metal were probably like, yeah, that hole's too small, Matt. So I actually went up 2 drill bit sizes, and it went in like a charm, okay? So again, fortunately, this is only going to be on here to hold this guy in place. We're not too worried about it. It's not going to be like, it's not a high speed, low drag operation. It can be a little low speed, high drag. And remember, my hole's not exactly in the center. It's not a big deal. My threads for the set screw aren't like super tight. It's no big shake, okay? So let's put it together. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about though the J. Edwards Fractal Fret Press. I love this thing. In fact, I love it so much I bought a second one. And when you come out to workshops here, these are what you will use. We did this in the last workshop, and again, I don't know when you're going to be watching this, but I use these. We use these for everybody's guitar in the last workshop, and everybody's guitar frets turned out like immaculate. Okay. So I'm a big believer in these. I've used it a number of times myself, and guys who have never pressed in frets have used it for the first time, and they got equally wonderful results, okay? So there's been some people who are like, well, what's brass? Is it going to last forever? Well, I don't know. How many guitars do you build? I was told by J. Edwards that if you that the guys from Sur Guitars say they get about 600 guitars, all with stainless steel frets, before they notice any wear. Now, he did send me some extra feet. I don't know why he sent me extra feet, but I think maybe it's like, well, hey, if you have a foot that gets a wear mark in it, here's some extra feet. So yeah, so I wouldn't worry about this unless you're making more guitars than Sir Guitar is. And if you are, you're probably doing well enough to where you can buy another one of these every 600 guitars. Okay? So if you only build guitars on the internet, then yeah, this is probably a thing. But if you build guitars in real life, don't sweat it. You're probably never going to wear it out, especially if you don't use stainless steel fret wire. Okay? We build a lot of guitars, and so I will tell you when I will let you know when I don't like this anymore, and I bet you it's not going to ever happen. I love the Fractal fret press. Okay, so enough said on that. All right, let's move forward. All right, so we're going to put the Fractal fret press into our RAM, and we're going to put our set screw in. And remember, the set screw is only there to keep it from falling out. All right, so little set screw action here. And voila, we are good to go. Oh, wait, you know what? I got to do this. I got to put this in a different way. I got to put it in a different time because I have got to put this in my fret press arbor before you see what I mean? It's got to be in here. And the arm's got to be in there. Golly. So, all right, let's back up. I should have used my head because there's one other thing that I want to do before I put everything together, and that is I want to attach my fret press to this disc of pine. And I went ahead and I put some threaded inserts in here, and I'm going to attach my my fret press to this board. Now, this is just the way that I do this. If you guys are like, well, I'm just going to hard mount it to a table, that's totally cool. But we move these presses around every so often. So having it on a board is it's just a nice. It gives you way more ability to press stuff into place. Let's see if I need any more washers to space these out. I might not, but I might. Let's look and see. No, I'm good. I'm good. Okay. So these little discs. You can buy these at the home center. That's where I bought this one. And it's nice. It's a nice thing. You could paint it or you could stain it, whatever you want to do. But I'm just going to attach it to this wooden disc. And then it gives me more stability, and it gives me the ability to move it around if I need to. Okay? But again, if you want to, whoops, little too much there, Matt. Yee. Okay. Maybe a little less clamping pressure is needed. Okay, I think we're good. We're going to roll with that like it is. All right, now we're going to put the actual press together. So we want to get a couple things happening here. I've got a piece of spring steel that goes into this portion, okay, and then this guy goes in, and then this guy goes in, and this is what cams down the arm, okay. So you'll probably have to kind of get this how you want. That looks pretty good. Okay. And then this dude goes on the opposite side and locks it into place. We're going to use our StewMac multi-tool kit to find the right size Allen for that set screw. All right, that looks pretty good. And then we will insert the Fractal fret press and insert the set screw. Okay, like so. And then we will use the same StewMac multi-bit set to put it together. And that's it. There you go. Pretty cool, huh? So, yeah, let me clean up and let's recap, and we'll finish this video up. Okay, everybody, I think this video has gone on quite long enough. But as you can see, I've got both my the workshop Arbor presses are ready to go. They're both identical, well, or as identical as I can get them. They're both the same Arbor press that I got from Amazon. I'm going to try to remember to leave a link in the description below. They both have the J. Edwards Fractal fret press. Total thumbs up. Texas Toast stamp of hubris on that. They're both mounted to these circular disc things here to give you a little more of a footprint when you're using them. Again, if you want to mount them to a table, please do. I attach them to those with 3/8 bolts into threaded inserts, and on the one that I cracked, I went ahead and glued that back together. I super glued it back together, so we should be A-okay. If not, we know where to get more. So anyway, yeah, as I said in the beginning part of this video, unless you get really, really good with a hammer, the Arbor Press is the way to go. And it's not particularly expensive, especially when you consider that a setup like this will make all of your fretwork so much better. So, well, you know what? I take that back. This is kind of an expensive proposition. The Arbor Press was $100. The J. Edwards Fractal Fret Arbor Press calls are right around $300 at the time of this video. You know, whatever this little disc of wood costs. So you're probably looking at, you know, a significant investment over a hammer. But I definitely believe that we get the results that you'd have to work for years with a hammer. Well, maybe not years. You'd have to work for a long, long time with a hammer to get as good of a result as you can get from this. Remember, Joel Danzig says that if he doesn't see this in your guitar shop, he knows exactly what kind of guitar builder you are. Okay, so, and I know all of you guys are good with hammers. Okay, just get the fret press and try it out. If you decide to not go with the J. Edwards Fractal Fret Press, and you want to go with the StewMac one, it's the same hole, it's the same everything, and you can pull them out and use them at your discretion. Okay, I guess let's wrap it up. I'm tired of talking about fret presses. But guys, if you have any questions about what we did in this video, please leave them in the comment section below. If you use one of these, I know you're going to dig it. If you appreciate the kind of content that we do here at Texas Toast Guitars, please consider supporting us on Patreon or joining us on YouTube, or send us a super chat, because all these videos are free of ads. So we don't have any corporate overlords. We're an overlord ourselves. So anyway, you guys know what I'm talking about. So until next time, this is Matt at Texas Toast, reminding you that if you're so smart, start your own YouTube channel. That's what I did. And have a great week, everybody. We will see you next time.